Hey guys, welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. We're going to talk to our friends now, so let's start with Anivia. Hey wait, mind if I bend your ear about something? Anivia is outside your door leaning casually against a shelf. So here's the first and most important thing. Beth gave you a crucial mission, I get that, and I know you'll get the job done. I saw you in action, but here's the rub. By sending you out on an errand, we're weakening our defenses here. If they come at us while you're gone, I don't know if we'll be able to fight them off. Everything seems clear so far. What else do you wish to discuss? So the rift that damn beetle left with its scythe, yeah, well it cut the city into two and it's kinda difficult to get across. My scouts tell me there's a halfway decent place to set up a crossing in Market Square. Not that any of them tried to make it, sure. But if you've got a mind to go across, and I think you're going to have to eventually, you might want to give the square a once-over. Do you want me to stay here and guard the tavern? You what? No, your task is far too important. You can't just hole up here all cozy like waiting for the demons to knock on the door. We need to take the fight to them. But if those freaks try to make a move on this place, Beth will send a runner to get you. If that happens, you leg it back here, alright? Because if you don't, you'll be coming back to an ash pile, got it? When do you think the demons will attack next? Your guess is as good as mine. It might not be here, they could attack the whole damn city. Those vermin know they've lost the upper hand and that we're going to push back hard. If things kick off here, you should know, after they attack, some things could be changed beyond recognition. So if you've got any business that needs taken care of, you'd better do it soon. Thanks for the warning. See you later. Later, watch yourself out there. Okay, so we've got another quest, I think. Find the storyteller, scout the tower, okay. Let's talk to Staunton. The dwarf resembles an abandoned citadel, one whose high crumbling walls are still holding fast but whose empty, lightless windows make it clear that all inside is dead. Oh, it's you. Good work back there in the Grey Garrison. Name's Staunton Vane. If you've heard rumours about me. His face, which looks like it has never known anything as carefree as a smile, grimaces. Just so you know, everything people say about me, it's true. I need to talk to the elf who calls himself the storyteller. Do you know where I can find him? The storyteller? Staunton strokes his beard in thought. Strange old fellow, that one. He used to sit with me for hours asking about all sorts of things. He never offered judgment or comfort, he just listened. At first, I wanted him and his questions as far away from me as possible, but later I realized that talking to him did ease my burden a little. I hope he is alive and well. He's completely blind and feeble too, so if he's alone in the city, well, you probably know what that means. I do know one place he might be. Look for him in the Black Wing. It's a library here. I'll show you where it is on the map. I don't know what use a library is to a blind elf, but he loved the place. He would sit there day and night. What do people say about you? They say I'm a traitor, as bad as Arilu Vorlesh, that I'm a disgrace even among the ranks of the condemned. That Queen Galfrey should never have spared me, that I belong on the gallows. Okay, Arilu Vorlesh. Few names arouse as much rage among crusaders as that of Arilu Vorlesh, the Sarkorian witch who initiated the opening of the World Wound and later its expansion. Almost nothing is known about her life before the atrocity except that Vorlesh was condemned for using arcane magic, which was persecuted in Sarkoris and imprisoned in the Tower of Threshold near the city of Iz. This is where Arilu Vorlesh conducted the ritual that paved the way for the demonic invasion and left her land to be tormented by the demon lord Descari. By some mysterious means, the witch transformed herself, changing from an ordinary human into a half-demon. Over the following century, crusaders encountered Arilu Vorlesh or the results of her experiments a few times, but they learned nothing more of Descari's henchwoman. She holds a high position in the ranks of the Army of the Abyss and bears the title of Architect of the World Wound. The Condemned is a military unit made up of petty criminals conscripted as disposable soldiers and frontline fodder in the Mendevian Crusades. Okay. Queen Galfrey is the absolute monarch of the Crusader. Okay, I might just leave this up here, so if you want to read it, you can pause yourself and read it. Otherwise, the video is going to end up taking quite a while. But I think it's interesting to read the lore, so there you go. Why do they hate you so much? You really don't know? Staunton gives you a long, morose look and sighs. I'm the reason why the Crusade forces are holed up in fortresses on the edge of the Whirlwind. Instead of bringing the fight to the demons, we used to have a foothold in the Wound, the mighty, unassailable city of Dresden. We used to have it until it fell, and all because of my stupidity. I gave the enemy our main citadel. I was tried. They wanted to execute me, and rightly so, but the Queen intervened. She said that I should live and fight in order to undo what I had done. So that's how I lived, decade after decade, fighting in the Condemned. The dwarf shrugs. As you can see, I've fixed nothing, and I've earned no one's forgiveness. Are you going to spit in my face too? It wouldn't surprise me. Do we want good or lawful? You keep living and fighting with no hope of anything better, because that's what the Queen ordered you to do. There is honor in that. You may be right, but you know, even stone and iron get worn down over time. I know what it means to live a regimented life, but I cannot rely on my discipline alone forever. I pray to Torag, though he does not listen, that my body breaks before my conscience does. A whole city fell because of you? How is that possible? What do you mean, how? The knight glares at you from beneath his furrowed brows. If you don't trust the word of a Condemned, go ask somebody else, like my little brother Joran. And if you still don't believe it, what's it to me? But if you're about to ask me to recount the story of my disgrace for the 1000th time, don't. You really don't have any friends? I couldn't have survived this long if I were completely alone. Joran, my little brother, he keeps me going. He's never abandoned me. Everyone else shies away from me like they might catch what I've got. Even fighters in the Condemned console themselves by thinking, I got stripped of my rank, but at least I'm not Staunton. Commander Tirabade seems to be the only person in the whole army who remembers that I'm a soldier and not a drudge. She has no qualms about taking me into battle. She's had some mud flung at her in the past, or so I hear. That's why she tries to keep an open mind about people. It's no surprise that she's the only one to hold on to her sense of reason in this farce. So many years in the Condemned, surely you have paid your penance by now. That's not up to me to decide. My life is in the Queen's hands. Falls silent for a moment, and then in a trembling voice he adds, The Condemned isn't the worst part. All these years I've prayed to Torag for forgiveness. Countless times I've gone to his priest. Countless times I've kneeled before his altar. If only the Father of Dwarvenkind would answer my prayers just once, not to restore what I've lost, but just to tell me that I'm still one of his children. But it seems he doesn't give a damn about me. What can I expect from mere mortals when my own god doesn't think I deserve redemption? If Torag has renounced you, perhaps you should turn to another deity. Sarenrae, for instance, teaches that everyone who repents sincerely should be forgiven. No, I couldn't. Staunton interrupts you. You can't choose your god, just like you can't choose your family, your race, or your homeland. If your father renounces you, you can't just choose another father. It's the same story with Torag. Okay. Go on then, maybe we'll see each other again. Alright, who else is here? Let's talk to these guys. I believe that help is already on the way. The Queen will not leave us to die, okay? A stout old man with a fuzzy grey beard mumbles a prayer. He looks as tired as everyone else in this tavern, but determination is stamped upon his haggard face. What can I do for you? Who are you? Vasily Rathimus, rector of the local temple of Abadar. The temple is gone though, and if we snooze here for much longer, the city will be lost as well. Who is that boy with you? This one? Kiado, the shepherd, my apprentice. He's a smart boy and his faith is strong. He serves a Wrath still though, but there's still something you can learn from an old servant of Abadar. He'll be a great cleric when he gets a little older. What kind of help can I expect from you? First, I sell scrolls. I have a lot of them, something for every emergency. Second, while you're here in the tavern, I can read one for you. Guaranteed, no surprises, but you better not go into the city without a cleric. I won't be going there myself. I'm too old and my powers are needed here. So he's a vendor. May Abadar aid you, okay. Survivor. Now Anivia is over here. I think there's something else that she gives that we didn't quite get just before, so let's talk to her again. Anivia, in her muted colors, blends almost perfectly into the background. She appears relaxed, but her seemingly unfocused eyes are taking in everything around her, tracking and filtering potential threats. The only tell is the way she drums her fingers on her hip near her weapon sheath. She shows no signs of her injuries and confidently leans on a previously broken leg. She pretends to have just noticed you even though she watched you from afar. Oh hey, see how they patched me up? Now I can run, jump or dance a jig if I feel like it. Are there any suspicious places in the city that I should pay attention to? There were a couple of spots I wanted to check out, but I didn't have time. If there really is a den of cultists there, it would be good if you could swoop in there and bust some heads. You don't even need a search warrant. First one is the Silken Thread. It's a funny little tailor shop that doesn't take any orders and never buys any fabric, but they always seem oh so busy. They're busy with something in there, alright, but sewing, it ain't. Second one is the alchemy shop, Topaz Solutions, and they trade in everything, not just healing potions. Judging by the ingredients they've been buying on the black market, there's something fishy about the alchemical rituals going down in that place. Tell me about yourself. She shrugs with a lazy smile. I'd be happy to, but there's kind of nothing to tell. What's so interesting? Where are you from? Nowhere. I was blown in by the wind and found in a cabbage patch. She stopped short. Sorry, that's an old habit of mine. I don't like blabbing about my past, but you saved my skin, so I guess I kind of owe it to you not to clown around, right? I'm from Nidal, and I wouldn't wish my homeland on my worst enemy. You've heard of the place, I'm sure, ruled by monsters that aren't alive nor dead, and the official religion is the cult of Zon-Kuthon. I grew up in a slum like a weed between the cobblestones. I didn't have a dad, but I had lots of aunts and uncles, my mum's cronies. No prize for guessing the kind of business she was involved in. They gave me a set of lockpicks as soon as I could hold a spoon, and while other kids were picking their noses, I was picking pockets. When I was 12, the monks of the Silent Shroud came for us, creepy guys with their mouths sewn shut. They're the guards in Nisroch. Mum gave me to her friends and we hid in a secret temple of Desna. I never saw my mum again. I lay low in the temple for the next few years, kept my head down. I washed floors, fetched water, listened to sermons. Funny thing, after a while I started liking Desna's teachings, but as soon as I was old enough, I was out of there. I left Nidal and got as far away as I could. Quite a ragtag group you've got here, from nobles to street thieves. You got that right, haha, only the best for you. What do you do if the knights and nobles fail to save the world? The lowlifes are our only hope. How did you meet Irabeth? I was bumming around Timon a while back, doing this and that. Desnan Temple sometimes gave me odd jobs. You know, sometimes they needed people with skills like mine. On the surface, it was fine, I guess. After Nidal, the freedom of River Kingdom should have seemed like heaven. My chance to sit back and enjoy life, but I wasn't happy. There just wasn't any joy in my new life. I was all alone, no one cared about me, and I didn't care about anybody either. I struggled to find a reason to drag myself out of bed every morning. Tying a stone around my neck and jumping into the nearest river started to look pretty appealing. One day I was hired to follow some fellows who the local authorities suspected were Razmiran spies. I was stupid, I made a rookie mistake and they caught me. It's like my body had already decided to do what my mind had been fighting, to finally put me out of my misery. Get someone else to kill me since I didn't have the guts to do it myself. They grabbed me, I thought they'd gut me on the spot, but instead they hog-tied me and dragged me off. And just like an animal going to the slaughter, my only thought was, let's get this over with. They brought me to their stinking cave, threw me on their altar, and I realized who it was. Kuthites from Nidal. They'd tracked me down after all those years. But I didn't care anymore. Wouldn't even have cared if they'd eaten me or whatever. We all gotta go sometime, right? So I was lying there staring at those knives pointed at me when fate rolled the dice and I hit the jackpot. Irabeth, there she was, storming into the cave. Picture it, I'm lying on an altar with all these knife-wielding maniacs around me and suddenly Irabeth storms in. I thought it was Iomade herself, fierce in her shining armor with her gleaming sword raised. She made quick work of those scumbags, chopped them up just like that. I didn't even have time to blink. She untied me and then Anivia's face lights up as she chuckled. She looked through the papers they had on the table and she started swearing like a sailor. So much for Iomade, haha. How did you and Irabeth end up in Canabras? After almost becoming a human sacrifice, I knew I never wanted to leave Irabeth's side. Desna knows I fell for her instantly, and I fell hard. My misery was gone, and when Irabeth showed me what was in those papers, proof that the cultists had a nest in her home city, well, I offered to help without a second thought. Anivia smiles warmly. She must have figured I couldn't wait to get my revenge on the cultists, but I didn't give a damn about them. It was her. I'd go anywhere with her, even on a crusade or into the jaws of a dragon. But I took to life in Canabras like a duck to water. I used to be an outcast wherever I went, but half of the Crusaders are the same. After all, who'd volunteer to tangle with demons on the edge of the abyss? You've got to be either a goody two-shoes with too much honor and free time, or a misfit with no life out in the normal world with normal people. People come here to run away from their debts, their past, from themselves, so I fit right in. Probably a bit early to be asking about her home life. Thanks for asking. Telling you all this kind of made me feel better. What are your responsibilities in the Eagle Watch? Nothing official. I'm not even a knight, you know. I just hang around. You sure you want to know the details? Catching traitors and spies and cultists is no walk in the park. It's a delicate job. Can't always do it all within the letter of the law. What if we surprise some suspicious blighter with an official search? Everyone will know about it long before long, starting with their cronies. Then again, sneaking into people's houses at night ain't exactly legal. The Crusaders can't be doing stuff like that, can they? Well, I'm not exactly a knight. She trails on. Okay, I have to go. Alright, you watch yourself now. Okay, we could talk to Indara and Pink Eye. Well, Indara is the important one, but there's a few checks in there that you probably want to save. Let's talk to Irabeth for a second. Any success? How is the city? What is our main objective? You heard what that demon said. They're going to desecrate the wardstone and blow up the whole barrier around the Whirlwind. That would be an even worse disaster than the Whirlwind's expansion before the Second Crusade. Not only Canabras, but every city with a wardstone will be destroyed, including the capital. We can't allow that no matter what. We will retake it, even destroy it if we must. Iomede's gift must not become a weapon of the abyss. I have to go. Let's just move on. Okay, let's come in. Well, let's talk to Gemmel first. A strange figure towers over the bar, a huge, ungainly man with skin so milky white that his blue veins are visible even from a distance. His bald head is equal part lumpy and pitted, and blood-filled eyes stare impassively out at you from beneath his pale brows. The glass in the albino's large, clumsy hands looks dangerously delicate, as if one twitch of those calloused fingers would be enough to crush it. A gold medallion engraved with a tankard gleams around his neck. What will it be? Let's see what he has. We'll do the bulk selling. It's fine. Masterwork scythe. Do we want to keep the scythe? Maybe. We could probably sell the bardiche. These are reagents, so we probably want to hang on to them. Let's get rid of studded leather, and that's all for now, I think. What does he have? Dark Omen. If the wearer of this ring has the ability to cast spells spontaneously, it grants them the ability, okay, cast those spells. Dark Veil. Bag of Holding. Yeah, let's take that. Bottomless Mug. Drinking from this mug gives a +2 character, or gives a character a +2 bonus on saving throws against fear effects. Taking another drink prolongs the effect, okay. When used by a monk with Drunken Master. Okay, so you end up getting drunk. That's not ideal. Dark Veil. Once per day you may use this item to grant your party total concealment against range attack form. It could be handy, but don't need that just yet, I don't think. I use any of these other weapons. Dueling Sword, Masterwork Greatsword, Heavy Flail, Masterwork Longbow. Okay. Probably will use that. I think we'll just take what we've got right now. Actually, let's go back to Vasily. Does he have any items, or is he just... He does have some items. Icy Protector. Ooh, that's quite expensive. Grants the wearer cold resistance, and if the wearer has the Ice Plant Hex, it also grants them +2. That would be really nice to pick up. Powerful Blood Magic. Okay. Fair enough. Alright. Let's go outside for a second. Or, no. Let's go in here first. Let's see what's in these loot. Yep, we want those. Okay.
Let us press on.
Oh, okay. So our wolf hadn't turned up yet. Okay, let's do this. Surrender thy soul, Delvin. Freaking out the guards. Ha ha ha, got you again. How many times is that today? Take your jokes and shove them. Whoa, easy there, Chief. Don't hit me, okay? Let's have a
Chief.
chat.
Hey, Dreamboat, come over here. I want to talk to you about something. Something really important.
Quit bothering the decent people in here, Woljif, or I'll knock your teeth out!
What's it to you, Delvin Dum-Dum? You were told to guard me, and I'm not stopping you. But no one told me I had to shut my trap.
Who are you?
Woljif. Woljif Jefto. I deal in useful things. I can get you whatever you want. Anything. But there's just one problem.
Tiefling rattles his chains and gives you a meaningful look. What do you want from me?
I'll lay it out for you. Simple job, 30 minutes tops. We go someplace, talk to someone, and in return, whatever you want, I'll get it for you. Some extra rations? No problem. Armor, weapons, scrolls, you name it. It's as good as yours. If you need my help with something, whistle and I'll be there. I'm handy enough with knives too, and even my magic know-how isn't too shabby.
What a load of guff! If you were good at magic, you wouldn't be stuck in here now, would you?
Don't you listen to him, Chief. He'd find fault with the Queen herself. I'll be useful to have in battle, and I'll sell whatever you want at a reasonable price. It's your lucky day. You won't meet another gem like me in Canabras.
Huh? Why are you in chains?
Does it really matter? Don't get hung up on the past, Chief. Don't look to the future. Live in the here and now.
He was caught thieving.
Your shadow, what was that?
Get me out of here and I'll tell you. And don't worry, it's not contagious.
I can't help you while you're chained up here. How can I free you?
That's easy. You know Irabeth? Feisty looking gal, always wears armor. You can't miss her. She's the meanest fighter in the whole city. When you see her, put in a good word for me, will ya? Tell her there's this guy Woljif locked up for no good reason in the Defender's Heart. Well, for the follies of his youth. And he really wants to get out on bail so he can keep up his good behavior and make a contribution to society. You got that? Will you do it?
Alright, I'll talk to Irabeth about your situation.
I knew I could count on you. Knew it the moment I laid eyes on you.
We'll talk later. Okay. And now there's a little bit of a... Okay, a puzzle here. Alright, finally got it. See what's in here. A helmet. Okay, hang on. Let's see what that letter said. Okay. You can pause that and have a read of it yourself if you want. Okay, let's sort out the rest of this stuff. And let's go talk to Irabeth about freeing Woljif. And we'll get Woljif as a companion.
Our path leads on.
There is a tiefling chained up in the Defender's Heart. What can you tell me about him? Woljif is a petty thief from a gang of tieflings operating in Canabras. That's what we call them in these parts. They tried to rob a vendor of magical items recently. Unfortunately, we apprehended only one of them and the rest managed to escape. We have nowhere else to keep him apart from the Defender's Heart, but that's hardly a prison. Woljif knows it too. He's been begging us for days to let him go free or have someone vouch for him. He's already asked you to put in a good word for him, hasn't he? If you want to recruit Woljif and put him to good use, go ahead and take him off our guards' hands. We can ill afford to let a soldier spend their days watching over a middling thief. I hope the tiefling proves useful, should you decide to take him along. Okay. Okay. I guess that means we can get him out now.
Well, Chief...
I talked to
what do you
Irabeth
got
and
for
I've
me?
decided to make you part of my troop. We'll see how it goes.
You must be a smooth talker. Come on, Delvin. Get these bracelets of yours off me. I'm going free.
You're sure to regret this. This tiefling will fleece you for everything you've got. Mark my words.
You're a bitter little man, Delvin. Petty and mean. You can't even be happy for me, can ya? I pity you. I'll leave you alone with your sad little soul. So long. And now, Chief, straight down to business. You see, I'm one of those guys that people around here call thieflings. We just call ourselves the family. After we knocked over that shop and I got stuck here in the Defender's Heart, a little bird told me that big sister Charisme wanted to see me. That she had some questions to ask me. You following? Now, she won't be asking me questions like, Woljif, how'd you manage to get out of this one? Or, Woljif, you're so thin, didn't they feed you? No, something serious has gone down, and I just know they want to try to pin something on me. I can feel it in my tail. So, I knew right away that I couldn't go alone. You turned up just in time, Chief. You don't need to do anything when we get there. Just stand behind me and look mean, and I'll handle the rest. Somehow. Let's go, I'll show you the way.
Hey. We recruited Woljif. Alright. We can probably talk to Gemel again. Got a little bit more stuff to sell. Why is it trying to sell the headband of charisma? That's interesting. Definitely don't want to be doing that. Want to hang on to that. Ever burning torch, silver powder, dagger. That's fine. Okay. Okay. Well, since we need charisma, let's put that on. Okay. Let's see. Marching Terror, I can't use it. Can Seela use it? Yes, she apparently can. Let's put that in there. And that's it so far. Let's go outside now. Okay, let's see. What's going on here? Commander, look what we've got here. Are you two mad? Whatever possessed you to steal the gemmed golem from the Tower of Estron Museum? Explain yourselves. We didn't steal nothing, Commander. We saw looters dragging it down the street and recaptured it. Now this shiny fella is our trophy. Shiny fella belongs to the treasury. The inlay alone is worth more than a castle. Oh, I really don't like it. Okay. Draw and see to it no one else lays so much as a finger on the golem or plucks out a single gem, and same goes for you two. Okay. Can't read fast enough. Press the Digipainter. I think this is the I guess the transmog golem. A grizzled dwarf turns a blade in his calloused hands, carefully inspecting its edge. When he sees you approaching, he sets the blade aside and greets you with a nod. A new face in the city. You picked a good time to come to Canabra's. As you can see, we're in sore need of warriors. Are you Dauntonvane's brother? Yep, where he goes, I go. That's how we've always done it, even before the world wound. I forge the armor, he goes into battle and breaks it. He brings it back to me, and I repair it and make it better than before. Everything's changed since then, of course, but that part has stayed the same. Show Radiance to Joran. Do you recognize this sword? Do I recognize it? Of course I do. I made this with my own hands. There's my brand, see? The dwarf carefully takes the sword in his hands, gazing at it like a doting father. Oh, Yaniel, things have been tough without you, but at least we've still got your sword. That's something. Joran returns the sword to you. In battle, ordinary swords get blunted, they break. But sometimes a weapon can preserve. I don't even know how to explain it. I'm no authority on these things. But something like an echo of the deeds done with that weapon, or more like the reflection of the wielder's soul. I don't know. I will say one thing. Take care of that sword. Yaniel may no longer be with us, but the demons will still remember why they need to turn tail and run when they see Radiance. Och. The scabbard's all worn. We can't be having a fine sword like this being carried around in this tatty thing. I'll make you a new one if you like. If the city stands strong and we both survive, come see me again and I'll have it ready, no charge. Okay. Why do you have your forge here in the tavern yard? Wherever I am, that's where my forge is. A true master of any craft will always find the tools they need. I miss my old forge, of course. It's now just a pile of charred stone and metal, but I've still got my hands and that means I can work. How was Staunton to blame for the fall of Dresden? I've told this story so many times already, while telling it one more time would kill me. The blacksmith sighs. Dresden was built after the First Crusade, back when it seemed like victory was ours for the taking, and that the demon invasion would soon be at an end. The population of Old Sarkoris was thoroughly diminished, and many of them hoped to see their hard fighting repaid with a small plot of unclaimed land. Dresden was a fortress built on all our hopes and on Mendev's ambitions, though you're not supposed to say that out loud. What a city it was, Stooge. You can't even imagine. It was built by the finest engineers from the Five Kings Mountains. Queen Galfrey spared no expense. Dresden was meant to be the capital of the Crusade movement, a monument to its glory and a beacon of hope for all of Golarion. Heroes were drawn there to seek fame and glory, and they came from all over. Taldor, Garun, Tianxia. I couldn't list them all. A relic known as the Sword of Valor was kept there, the banner that had been carried into battle by Iomade herself, back when she was still human. That banner protected the city and kept the demons from teleporting inside its walls. As long as the banner was in its place, Dresden was invincible, or so we thought. But then the world wound suddenly expanded, the demons launched a new onslaught, and folks started saying it was time to declare the Second Crusade. Dresden was unassailable, until one young officer was tempted by a beautiful woman. She convinced him that the banner shouldn't be hanging in the city, that its rightful place was on the battlefield. She whispered honeyed words about glory and valor, and convinced him that he could be a hero as great as Iomade herself. And the poor fool believed her. He rounded up some of his hot-headed friends and carried the banner outside the gates on an unauthorized foray. The demons slaughtered them within seconds, but for some reason the courageous ringleader was spared. A whole army teleported into Dresden. It was a bloodbath. As you can guess, that officer was called Staunton Vane, and the woman turned out to be a demon. Not just any demon, it was Minago, that foul wretch. She's given us a lot of grief here in Canabras too. Just don't ask me what I was doing while my brother was off having tryst with that beast and why I didn't save him from his own stupidity. The blacksmith gestures as if to ward off the inevitable reprobation. Who could have guessed it would end like this? I failed my brother, that's the truth. I blame myself every day looking at his plight, so that's the story. Okay, do you know everyone in Canabras by sight? Well, not everyone, but I make it my business to know the people who might need my services. A blacksmith's work isn't just at the anvil, you know. Okay, let's see what he's got. Smasher, Detainer. Oh, there's quite a bit of stuff here. DR3. Okay. Living Ram. Okay. Can't afford any of these yet, I don't think. Okay. Well then, let's head out. We still only have 5, so we don't need to turn on the experience thing, or turn off the experience thing yet. And I think the first place we want to go to is the Thiefling's hideout. Blackwing Library is something we'll need to get to. Just looking at the quests. Spies, okay, scout out the Tower of Estrad, the Divided City. Okay. Alright, so we're going to the Thiefling's quarters first to deal with this quest. There is a bit of a time kind of schedule. Anivia did tell us that they will attack, so we can't rest too much. Otherwise, that will trigger the actual attack on the tavern. And we have quite a few things we need to do before that actually happens, and that includes going to the Blackwing Library and exploring Market Square. But yeah, for some easy experience, we'll go to the Thiefling's hideout. Okay, let's loot this, I guess. Let's save it here. basement is dark and dank, and you are immediately struck by the hostility of the gathered tieflings. 5 of them are kneeling along the wall separate from the rest. The tall woman who had been cleaning her fingernails with the tip of a knife greets you with narrowed eyes. "Brother Woljif, you got my message there." "Sorry I couldn't swing by sooner, dear sister Keresme. It was just one thing after another. First I was in shackles, next, well no, I was still in shackles and I was being watched. And then the chief got me out. And I came here straight away. I knew you'd been waiting on me." "Enough talking or else we'll be here all night. So, we had a clear plan. We were going to wait for nightfall, slip into the shop, grab the goods and leave. Even if the neighbors called the guard, there was time to get away, but what happened? That bitch Irabeth showed up almost right away. She knew we'd be there. Somebody betrayed us, and I have a good idea who it was." "What do you have to say to that? Make it quick." "The burden of proof lies on the accuser. Wojif doesn't have anything to prove." Keresme turns to you. "He speaks. I thought Woljif only brought you so he'd have someone to hide behind if things went south." In a single fluid motion, Keresme adjusts her grip on a knife so that she's now holding it by the blade as if preparing to throw it. "Burden of proof? Are you a city guard or something? I don't know how it is with your lot, but in the family the highest rank is always right. And here, that's me." "Do you think Woljif knows the name of the traitor?" "Yes, he knows the name of the traitor. Every gang that Brother Woljif has been a part of has very quickly come to an end. Their hideout location was passed to the guards, or their competitors found out where they could ambush them. Woljif is the only one who always comes out smelling of roses. If you think about it, you'll come to the same conclusion as us." I'd have said that meant that Woljif was cursed with finding friends among losers and screw-ups, but now that he's with us, that must mean the curse has been broken. "That depends. He was indeed most fortunate to find himself in a party with me. On the other hand, he also ended up in a party with you." "Canabras is burning. Why are you squabbling here instead of fleeing the city?" "I'd be glad to leave like the rest of my brothers and sisters, but in the family there's nothing worse than betrayal, and it's something we do not forgive. We don't forgive anyone who lets traitors off the hook either. If I don't find the rat, my superiors, let's just say, I wish I was burning in Canabras. I want to keep living, so I'm going to take a chance until I find out who is the traitor here. No one is leaving." "Woljif, tell us your side of the story. What happened?" "What's there to tell? About a week ago, Sister Keresme got 6 of us together in this very basement. Me and those 5 over there, I mean." Woljif jerks his head toward the 5 thieflings kneeling by the wall. She rounds us up and she says we've got a score. Ancient trees and wonders, the one place nobody's ever been able to hit. The place that's guarded by a golem, but now a powerful scroll that would knock out the golem just happened to come into our possession, along with a tip-off that the shop owner would be gone on a particular night. All 6 of us know a bit of magic, and we know that any enchanted junk will sell for a pretty penny, so we're in. And the most important thing was that none of us was to be hanging about the shop ahead of the job. No casing out the place, no calling attention to ourselves from either the golem or its master. This job was top secret." "That's all true so far. Go on." "We did everything right. With the locks and the golem, I picked the lock. I remember it clear as day. Sister Downer was on lookout. Brother Melroon had the scroll. Doffy, Tavi, and Varnier brought the sacks. We covered the windows and lit the torches. I remember scooping up rings and tossing them in a sack, and one right expensive one rolled away from me. I crawled under a table after it, and next thing I know, Irabeth was there. Everybody scampered, but I was still under the table. Not my finest moment. I was going to wait it out, but then those blockheads were dragging me out by my tail and put me in shackles. They took all my rings off me, about 20,000 worth, and to add insult to injury, I never even found the last one. In the end, I got busted over nothing. So they caught you. Poor thing, stripped you of your loot, and you didn't even manage to stash anything. Where's the moon of the abyss, Brother Woljif? What is the moon of the abyss?" "It was an amulet. It used to sit on a little cushion in the window of Ancient Trees and Wonders. Sterling silver, sparkled like a star. Fine piece of work. On one side there was a half moon, a crescent, a waning moon. and in the middle there was a dark crystal, like it was eclipsing the moon. Old man Philemon was so proud of that amulet. He used to say, "I'll never sell it. It's the jewel of my collection." Woljif sighs unhappily. I used to go there to see what kinds of treasures there were in the world. There's nothing else to look at in Canabres. People used to claim it was a powerful thing, but who's to say? If you ever stole a thing like that, you'd have guards on you the second you tried to fence it. Everybody knew that you were always hanging around ancient trees and wonders, drooling over the moon or the abyss. Did you think you could swipe it in all the commotion and keep it for yourself? Did you hope that we'd all be locked up and you'd get off scot-free with a fancy trinket to boot? Don't take me for a mug, Woljif. I see right through you. Why would Irabeth arrest her own informant? Took the words right out of my mouth. It doesn't make any sense. If I was a rat, I'd have kissed her on the hand and been long gone by now. You know me, sister. I'm a cautious fella, not an idiot. Why would I go against the family? So the fish in the cellar can have a nice Woljif-sized dinner? The moon of the abyss is a pretty bauble to be sure, but it's just an amulet. It ain't worth dying over. You knew Irabeth's people would protect you. You knew you could pin the moon going missing on them. And now you've come here with backup. You knew exactly what I was going to say to you. Only problem is, nobody's returned the amulet to Philemon. Are you giving Irabeth a cut? Is that it? Have you seen her? Do you think she'd take a cut of anything I offered her? She can't be bought. She's like 3 heralds of Iomade all rolled into one. He speaks the truth. You'll find some knights who'll take bribes, I'm sorry to say, but Irabeth Tirabade isn't one of them. Go on, Woljif. That's the whole sorry story. Some family this turned out to be. It's just a name in the end. In a real family, people take each other at their word. They don't throw around accusations. I didn't take the moon of the abyss. What am I going to do with it? You can't sell it to no crusaders. It's a special item. You can't wear it. It'll get nicked. It's pretty to look at, sure, but it ain't that pretty. If it's that important to you, Sister Kirisme, I'll find it, and I'll drag the traitor here by his horns, just so as you don't end up at the bottom of the cellar. But do you know what you're going to owe me for that? An apology right here in front of everyone. You're going to apologize loud and clear so everybody hears it. You'll say, "Sorry, Woljif, you're a good guy, and I was wrong about you." Fine, you're one of my people, which is why I'm going to give you some time. But if you run, Brother Woljif, the family will get you wherever you go. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, tossing and turning at night, fearing poison in every cup and every meal. You'll look into the eyes of every tiefling you meet, wondering if the family's come for you. You'll have no peace, but one day you'll be tired of running. You'll stop to catch your breath, and that is when we'll get you. Got that? You've a way with words, Sister Kirisme, a way that almost made me wet myself, but a way nonetheless. Let's go, Chief. We'll go chat to that scary gal, Irabeth. She knows you a little. We can ask her who ratted us out. I'll let you do the talking. We'll find the real traitor. And I'll get my apology. Onward to Irabeth, Chief. Let's go clear my good name. Root out the traitor, but be quick about it. Time's running out. I don't want to get chewed up by demons. Okay. Let's head back to talk to Irabeth. There's a traitor I'm trying to track down. Who is your informant among the thieflings? Canabras is threatened by a demon horde and you have enough spare time to help out thieves? I don't like this, but I hope you know what you're doing. I'll tell you everything I know. I did not see my informant's face. He slipped out of a dark alley, handed me the note, and disappeared. Irabeth hesitates as she tries to remember. He had a cloak with a hood masking his face, but the long horns didn't fit under it. There should be a guardian golem in Ancient Trees and Wonders, the shop they tried to rob. The owner gave us the construct's code word just in case. The golem itself was destroyed, but the head seems to be intact, so you can interrogate the thing and find out what it saw. The code word is Hand of Irori. The shop's owner must have escaped, but there's a chance you'll get lucky with the golem. I have to go. I think I saw something about talking to Horgus Worm. There he is. Let's have a chat to him and get our cash. 1,000 gold coins for you, just as promised. You helped me get back to the surface and I duly paid you for escorting me. Horgus Gurm always keeps his word. Now speaking of our future cooperation. Horgus looks at you with unvarnished disapproval, his arms folded across his chest, his foot tapping impatiently. I have a job that would be perfect for someone like you. Naturally, I'll pay generously for your services. What do you mean a job for someone like me? For an adventurer ready to sell their soul for booze and then lie down drunk in the gutter? Or do you think you're somehow different? A traveling knight perhaps, noble of heart but without a coin to your name? August sizes you up critically, then sighs and shrugs. You seem a reliable enough ally to me, and you did get me out of those mongrel caves. So why should I care what you do with my money once you've got it? August seems like one of those people who think the entire world owes them something. However, you hear notes of hysteria beneath his smug arrogance. It's as though he's really quite nervous but taking great pains to conceal it. Noble birth doesn't give you the right to behave badly. I would ask that you refrain from such statements in the future. August puts his hands on his hips. Oh really? How impudent. No one dares tell Horgus Worm how to address the rabble. So what does this job involve? You shall be my bodyguard. You see, I have good reason to return to my mansion here in Canabres. I still have... well, it doesn't matter. It's none of your business. My mansion is a breathtaking building with a large garden in the wealthy part of the city. Even before the demons attacked, every thief and fraudster in the city had tried to get inside, one way or another. I shudder to imagine the state it's in now. I have little hope that my guards were able to hold the mansion during the attack, and I expect that the servants fled when they saw the demons. Only Abadar knows what happened there since their sins. Therefore, I would ask that you meet me at my mansion and guard me there until I complete my business. I already asked the local paladins for help, but they've no desire to set foot outside this tavern. Damn cowards and traitors, that's what they are. Also, please do take Camellia with you. I trust that girl more than the rest of your gang. She is of noble birth after all. What kind of reward are we talking about? 1,000 gold coins, August replies without hesitation. Double the reward and I'll think about it. Ah, failed again. Ah, just by 2. Ah, yeah, right. For that kind of money, I could hire Queen Galfrey herself to guard me. 1,000 is my final offer. Alright, deal. Marvelous, most excellent. Augus's face relaxes, smoothing a few of the tense lines. I'll proceed to my mansion at once and wait for you there. Meanwhile, you needn't worry. I know the city like the back of my hand, but do hurry, unless you want me to lower your reward. Okay. Alright, so let's head over to that new location that we've got now. And yeah, let's go over here. And that's why I like doing Woljif's quest first, because it opens up this location, which is quite important.
Hello?
Let's loot this.
I found something.
Free at last. I thought I'd be flattened like a pancake under that rubble. Much obliged. Damn, I'm not in any pain, but my head is still foggy for some reason. What's with all the hubbub in the city? The name's Finian. I'm a Pathfinder. If there's anything I can do to help, I will.
You're a Pathfinder?
That's right, Finian Dismar, Pathfinder and Crusader. I roam around the world wound wherever my tasks lead me. Scouting mostly, but this last while I've just been hanging around in Canabres, waiting until I'm needed again. I'm bored out of my mind, but at least this shop makes for better lodging than some inn.
What I meant was, what are you?
What's that supposed to mean? I just told you. You want to know where I hail from, is that it? Well, I'm from around here, actually. We Helots of the Star-Eye clan fled when the World Wound troubles began. But I couldn't stand by while the demons wreaked havoc, so I came back. Or did you mean to ask about my weapon of choice? My best weapon is Every weapon. I'm a skilled and capable fellow, if I do say so myself. I can swing a sword and poke with a spear, but what I am best at is communing with the spirits. They call folks like me Phantom Blades.
Phantom Blade? What's that?
It's like a spiritualist, but with a twist. It means that some spirit took a liking to me at some point, and it can turn into whatever weapon I need. Handy, eh? I don't need any whetstones or enchantments. Doesn't take up space either. Although, to be fair, it's not a barrel of laughs. The spirits that bestow this kind of power don't come from happy places, and they're not exactly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They usually appear after great battles that leave few survivors.
The city's under attack by the demons.
Wait, what? The last thing I saw was some thieves breaking in here. And then the guards came, everyone was running around. After that, it's a bit of a blur. Right when things got intense, they dropped the cabinet on me. I couldn't even help the owner. I was just lying under the shelves like a dimwit until you came along. If there are demons in Canabras, we must do something about it. The city needs every blade it can get. Hey, do you mind taking me with you? I don't think I can handle this alone. And besides, the more the merrier.
How did you end up in the shop?
I've been waiting here so long I don't even remember anymore. Just sitting and waiting for any word from the Pathfinders, but it looks like everyone has forgotten about me. The shop owner is an old friend of the Pathfinders, so I've taken up residence here.
Alright, I'll take you with me.
I swear you won't regret it. I can do all sorts of things. Is there anything your party is missing? A sword, a spear, a bow? Just say the word.
Okay, so now we have Finian down here. And depending on which character you have selected, you can choose to have any weapon that they are proficient with. So you can choose long spear, short spear, punching dagger. I think we'll just go with long spear for now. Yeah, let's do that. Go back to shared stash, so actually, let's take a look at him. Yes, it's a +1 weapon. It's also cold iron and ghost touch, so that's quite handy. Ghost touch deals damage normally against incorporeal creatures, so that's always handy. And we can just switch that around once we get a weapon for whoever is using it. And it upgrades slowly over the whole campaign or the whole story, so that's always handy. Just need to do the correct quest to upgrade it, though. That's all. But we'll get to that. Okay, bit more cash. Let's see. We have the Pipe Fox provides +3 insight bonus on knowledge, arcana, and perception, or +2 to perception. Okay, let's equip that here. Should we give it maybe we should give it to someone else with more wisdom. I think I'll probably keep Camellia in my party, so I'll give it to her.
Godspeed.
Right. Let's quick save it here. The formerly well-appointed shop now looks a sorry state. It has been completely ransacked. Lying in the corner next to a scorched wall are the soot-covered shards of a clay golem's head. The golem's eyes glow in the gloom. Master. Code word. Hand of Irori. Code word correct. Awaiting orders. Where did you come from? Who created you? This golem was created by Gaffrain and Son. Address 3rd building on the right. Jewelers Alley, Nerosian, Mendev. Model G504ENE, which stands for Experimental and Enhanced. For all inquiries, contact Mr. Gaffrain. Tell me about any suspicious people who came to the shop in the last week. The golem is silent for a moment. 56 individuals entered the shop. Human, female, old, no male, old, human, female. He'll be reeling off customers till nightfall. We need to ask it in a different way. Were any of the suspicious people tieflings? Tieflings 3. Tiefling male middle-aged, tiefling male young, tiefling female young. Describe the young male tiefling. Tiefling male medium height, short horns curling backward, medium length tail, eye color yellow, hair color black. Special observations, annoyed master. Okay. Horns, hair, tail, that sounds like me, but it's not possible. I know what the security is like here. I didn't come near the place. I give you my word, chief. No special observations. Subject was unremarkable. There, see? Can't have been me, okay? There you go, Woljif. I guess you've cleared yourself. Describe the middle-aged male tiefling. Tiefling male, medium height, long horns, medium length tail, eye color pale blue, skin color dark, special observations, red hair. Oh, that's our trader. I'd bet your life on it. Kirisme drilled it into our heads that we wasn't to go hanging about the shop. Red hair. We've got a couple of gingers and plenty more who get it out of a bottle. So much for a special observation. Golems ain't all they cracked up to be, eh? Maybe its master knows more. Describe the female tiefling. Tiefling female, above average height, hair, long pale, tail not observed, long horns, eye color blue, special observation, scar on nose, baldric with gold stitching. I don't know that one. A new arrival most likely. Gold stitching, eh? Wouldn't mind getting to know her a little better. Enough. Where is your master? Philemon Fruliatros, my master, is in his hiding place. Revealing the location of the hiding place is prohibited, prohibited, prohibited. He likely holed himself up in the basement when the commotion started. The entrance should be around here somewhere. Where is the basement in this place? The basement is below me. I guard the basement. Leaving my post is prohibited. I found out everything I wanted to know. Alright, let's save it here. Let's move the golem. And let's head in. Alright, let's stealth. Let's take all the booze. It's Philemon. Save it here and have a chat. The elderly gnome, so portly as to be nearly spherical, is curled up in the corner of the basement, shaking. Marauders, bandits, scavengers. Yeah, makes sense. We're all of those things and much, much more. Before you report us to the authorities, mind if we have a chat? Please, calm down. No one's gonna rob you. The gnome peers at you. You do look better dressed than the local thieves and ragamuffins. You came here to tell me that the nightmare is over? No, it's not. You're here to steal my riches. Get back. The gnome notices Woljif and his rounded face turns scarlet. You, Woljif, the dirty little sneak thief. You've been sniffing around my shop for years, finally worked up the courage to rob me, did you? Get out of here. You and your pals have taken everything already, I'm sure. The gnome seems to settle slightly. My name's Philemon Fruliatros. I was the owner of this shop, but I'm not sure I can claim to be the owner of anything now. I hope there's at least something left of it. Not much. Oh, come off it. Your shop's fine. It's a bit ransacked maybe, but nothing a bit of spit and polish can't fix. Where were you the night of the robbery? Do you think I robbed my own shop? I was here in the basement. I was told to make it look like I left. The Watch was very keen to get their hands on those thieflings. They seem to be multiplying all over Galarian, so of course, I did everything they said, and I've been stuck in this basement since then. The golem wouldn't move away from the door, no matter how much I yelled at it, but then I thought that it was all to the good. Somebody came by after the guards and caused a ruckus upstairs, bellowing like mad, taking advantage of my absence. Tell me about the tieflings that have visited ancient trees and wonders recently. Why should I tell you anything about my customers? You're not from the City Guard or the Eagle Watch. Chief, if he keeps digging his heels in, just say the word. I know how to loosen his tongue. I'm helping the Eagle Watch to catch the culprits. It's in your interest to tell me everything. Well, we succeeded at least, so that's good. So they haven't got the tieflings? I thought the city's finest were on the job and they'd... Can't rely on anyone. Ask your questions then if it's so important. Tell me about the red-haired tiefling. A red-haired tiefling? I suppose yes, there was one who came in. Spent a long time looking around. He was a person of modest means. I could tell by his clothes. But he asked me to show him an Arsenal-made chainmail. He certainly couldn't afford it. That's when I suspected that something was off. I checked everything after he left, but nothing was missing, and that put my mind at ease. I can't remember what he looked like. I didn't get a good look at his face. All I remember is that he was wrapped in a green cloak like he was freezing, but that's all I have. That's it. With that description, we'll surely sniff him out. Come on, Chief, back to Kiss Sister Kara's may we go. To have a good long shifty at all my brothers and put all these clues together. Something tells me our trader isn't going to wriggle out of this one. Tell me about the tiefling woman. Tiefling woman, ah yes, I remember now. A noble lady, unlike the tiefling ruffians we have around here. She purchased magical equipment for the crusade and she promised to come again. If only all tieflings were like that, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank. Tell me about Woljif. Philemon's face wrinkles in distaste. Woljif Jeffto, right? Yes, I've known him a long time, though I'd rather not know him at all. He's been skulking around my shop for years, treating the place like a free museum. He always wanted to look at the moon of the abyss. I'd chase him out. But he'd just slink back in again. If he was with the gang that robbed my shop, I'll bet anything he swiped the moon. How come I'm the prime suspect? Whoever betrayed us all, that's the one who's got the moon. I want to see it return too, you get me? I don't like the idea of other people's grubby mitts on it. I've found out everything I wanted to know. If that isn't enough to help you catch the thieves, then I don't know what else to tell you. Now be on your way and leave me in peace with my wreck of a shop. Okay, fair enough. There's nothing else, and he didn't offer to sell me anything. I guess because his shop is smashed. We got what we wanted. We got the information, and we got Finian. And we'll head to the hideout. Okay, let's save here. Let's see. Let's review. A red-haired tiefling who wears a green cloak is a traitor. Now all that remains is to put the pieces together and expose the culprit. Okay, Kerisme drums her fingers nervously on the handle of her blade. Well, are you going to tell me who the traitor is? The name and the moon of the abyss that they stole. I don't need anything else. Let's take a look. The tieflings are tense and ready to reach for their weapons. The only redheads are Melrune and Doffy. The dark-skinned tieflings are Varnir, Doffy, and Melrune. Doffy, Melrune, and Tavi have straight horns, but Tavi is female. Only Varnir and Melrune have green cloaks. Okay, so it's obviously Melrune then. The only redheads are Melrune and Doffy, and Melrune is also dark skinned, and Melrune has straight horns. Okay, I'm ready to give a name. The traitor is Melrune. You'll pay for this. Votil and Hepzamira will get you in the end. Okay. Grab him, take him away for questioning. Sister Kerisme looks weary, but her early attention is clearly lifted. He confessed someone connected to the cult of Baphomet ordered him to steal the Moon of the Abyss, and the best idea he could come up with was to drag us into it. He got the scroll to take out the golem. He betrayed us to Erebeth so that he could swipe the amulet in the chaos. He thought we'd get nicked and he'd slink off to meet up with his customer. You've got the Moon of the Abyss? Let me look at it one more time. My whole life I've dreamt of holding it in my hands, if only for a second. He said when he got to the window display, the moon was gone. He's lying, of course. He had time to hand the moon off to the person who ordered it. Bloody cultists. I don't really give a toss. I'm just glad we got to the bottom of this. What are you gonna do now? Clear out of this place? The sooner the better. The city's dying. I don't want to die with it. This city would have already died if not for the people who stood up to defend it with their weapons in their hands. So defend it. I'm not stopping you. It's your city, but we've always been outsiders here. Why would we fight for you now? What are you going to do to the traitor? Kerisme nonchalantly picks at her nails with her knife tip. He'll be sent to visit his distant relatives on their farm to think about what he did. Any more questions? Can I join the family? Kerisme bursts out laughing. That's all you want? You can have your pick of the non-tiefling gangs. You've no need to tread on our territory. The family is for tieflings only, no exceptions. Alright, I have to go. Good decision. I don't plan to hang around long either. Sister. Woljif nervously bites his lip. His cheeks are flushed and his tail is swishing through the air. You forgot something. What now? You should be happy to be alive. An apology. You promised to apologize to me loudly in front of everyone. We're alone now, but I still want to hear it. Well? That. Kerisme shrugs indifferently. So sorry, I suppose, for being wrong about you. This time. Don't think that just because you didn't act like a jerk this one time that it cancels out the rest of your record. I know all about you. Till next time, Woljif. That was the most pathetic apology I've ever heard. Too bad, because that's all I've got. Yeah, that's a bit of a bummer. Woljif watches her go, his tail relaxing. Better than nothing. Listen, Chief, when you've got a spare minute, come to see me. I've something I want to discuss with you, but for now, let's get out of here. I don't like sitting below ground when the building above is ready to crash down on our heads. Okay.
We march ahead.
Let's save it here. Can we open it? Did you think Kerisme would forget to lock a vault with a pile of money in? You should be so lucky. If you want to clear the cobwebs out of them pockets of yours, you're going to have to try a bit harder. Okay.
Might be trap, might be treasure. This is my kind of work.
Collect all. Normally you need... Oh, I think if you succeed in that apology check, Kerisme gives an actual apology and then she gives you a key for this section here. I think. Thiefling's account book. Okay. Take it. Right. Okay, well, I think this is a good place to end the episode. We have completed the first section of Woljif's personal quest. We will try and do all the personal quests of all the companions if we can. But yeah, so I'll just end this episode here. And then in the next episode, I'll probably start it up with the conversation with Woljif. Yeah, talk to Woljif here. And we'll skip through the traveling parts and I'll just go straight to the conversation with Woljif and then we'll continue the adventure from there. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.